What's up guys, welcome to Veldora-kun. From our previous episode, we have witnessed the arrival of Miles in the Tempest. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I will put the link in the description below. Just a quick warning, these videos contain spoilers from the light novel. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community, Veldora-kun Subordinates. The link is in the description box. So now in this video we will review what happened next, which is the unexpected appearance of Gob'emon. But before we will proceed, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now without further ado, let's proceed with the video. Now, to go back to their respective groups and prepare for the Founders Festival. Things were humming along now. Miles is ecstatic over the new estate Rimuru gave him. He said, "How is this possible? How can this be? This is far posher than even the grandest lodging in Ingrasia." Rimuru decided to let Miles and his subordinates stay at an estate. It was a lot more luxurious than the average citizens indeed. Considering the current situation and possible future incomes, Miles figured out something and compliments Rimuru. "That's why you are building the underground labyrinth." As expected of Rimuru-sama, "I am completely vanquished against your peerless intellect." Even Rimuru is confused what Miles is on about, to which the merchant explained, "The adventurers can hunt the monsters in the labyrinth. I originally thought that you were doing this to give them relief after they've lost their jobs as the Great Forest became safe. But heavens, you had thought that far ahead?" Rimuru at first did not get it. Giving relief? What now? Hold on. The monsters in the Great Forest did decrease, but the labyrinth was created just for a fun attraction. Miles added more, "That will work, that will definitely work. We're seeing more adventurers out of a job, what with monster counts dwindling and all. As a result, there are probably people who will choose the underground labyrinth as an occupation. Plus, we'll be selling healing potions and adventuring gear nearby, right? We will not only be able to make this a health resort for tourism, but some may even start settling down in this nation. With all these inns providing fantastic service, a coliseum attracting tourists, and a dungeon providing thrills and a potentially decent wage." Rimuru now questions again the purpose of building the labyrinth. Rimuru complimented him, "You've only just arrived today, yet you already have such a solid grasp on the situation, Miles-kun?" And the merchant responds, "That is only natural. If there's money to be sniffed out, I'd never lose a single coin to you." Rimuru laughs, "Haha, I have truly been defeated, Miles-kun." And Miles laughed as well, "Hahaha, surely you jest. It wouldn't be possible without you." The plan to turn the underground labyrinth into a workplace for the adventurers, to which Miles joyfully accepted. He already had a ton on his plate. Talk about energetic. Rimuru had never considered the possibility of having adventurers settle down here until Miles pointed it out. The idea is to have the adventurers settle down and let them hunt the monsters in the labyrinth. This may turn out to be an amazing project. Adventurers would earn some money first, before spending it in the town. Not only would we be able to line their own pockets, but they would also be able to support the adventurers. They could then use that money to import things from abroad. Right now their trade relations with the Beast Kingdom Eurazania were on hold, and with the vegetables and grains produced in their nation alone, they wouldn't be able to feed the numerous adventurers either. That's why they would need to import things from other countries. Even if that weren't the case, it would still be fine, as Rimuru planned to turn his kingdom into a trading powerhouse. Besides, Rimuru wanted Tempest to become a trade hub, and he needed to think of ways to move larger amounts of goods and money around. Miles says, "The only thing left now is the promotional work. They first needed to commence the founding festival successfully to leave a good impression on the other nations." Rimuru responds, "You're right. This isn't advertising, exactly, but I've sent out invitations to world leaders. Some reporters from varying countries have also agreed to help, so I figure that we will get plenty of guests." And Miles proposes something. "Oh, good to hear, Rimuru-sama. If we are arranging the transportation of the royalties and nobles, we should do that before the snow melts, which is now." In that case, I'll contact the larger merchant operations I work with and let them know about the festival." And Rimuru asked, "Could you do that?" To which Miles assures, "Just count on me. I've actually already made some preparations. I intended to send out messengers once I scoped out how things were in Tempest." Rimuru knew that he could count on Miles and said, "Ah, Miles-kun is too amazing. You never leave a single stone unturned, do you?" Miles is flattered, "I could say the same of you, Sir Rimuru. Compared to how much of a visionary you are, my skills are nothing." They exchanged looks and smiled at each other. Miles added, "Rimuru-sama, this plan will not fail. If you have what it takes to build a nation up this far, I'm sure you could guide just about anyone to success." Rimuru, hearing it from Miles, is reassured. Miles seemed to have also been attracted by the food, environment, and comfort of this town. That's why he was reacting that way, and perhaps it was a sign of their future promised success, even. Rimuru stood up and extended his hand towards Miles. He said, "I'll be counting on you, Miles-kun." The merchant reached out and grasped Rimuru's hands, giving him his solemn oath. He said, "Leave it to me." While secretly praising him, Rimuru had faith that the plan would be a success. That night, they held a big dinner at Miles' mansion. Then they both enjoyed a bit of leisure time while drinking red tea. Miles then whispered something to a servant and had him go fetch someone. The ones who arrived were Bid and Gob'emon. Rimuru thought that Gob'emon was staying undercover as he kept watch over Miles, so why did he come here? Does it mean that he is reporting directly to Miles now? The merchant said, "Rimuru-sama, I understand that kind Gob'emon here was sent to protect me." Rimuru is hesitant if he should play pretend, but Miles already knew the guard was here on Rimuru's orders. No point trying to hide it. Rimuru said, "That's true, but let's put that aside for now. Gob'emon, what's up with your arm?" Rimuru noticed that all of it below the elbow was gone. Gob'emon responds, "Rimuru-sama. I'm truly sorry. I made a terrible mistake and exposed my identity to Miles. This lost arm is the punishment for my foolishness." Rimuru turned to Miles for explanation and he said, Don't get so emotional, Gob'emon dono. Go on, lift your head up. Have some tea to calm you down." After Gob'emon regained his composure, he began to elaborate. It turned out that Miles had, indeed, been attacked several times since their meeting. Miles was no fool, so he gave orders to his own bodyguards such as Bid to remain alert. There were a few close scrapes that were foiled thanks to the assistance of an anonymous bystander, Gob'emon of course, who intervened. The ambushes were more frequent than Rimuru imagined, so they were able to deduce that someone had been secretly protecting them. Miles apparently figured he must have been with Rimuru and kept pretending not to notice out of politeness. But they didn't expect a key event that took place later on. In an act of vengeance, Viscount Kazakh decided to resort to outrageous violence. Miles explained, "So I left my business to a trusted associate and left for this country. I was thinking that we would be safe once we got on the road, where the attackers wouldn't be able to strike as easily. But the highway was full of adventurers, traveling merchants, and patrolmen. There shouldn't be an assault incident on such crowded streets, and even if there were one, the patrols would hurry over." Someone like Miles, who traveled the highways frequently, was fully aware of that. For this reason, he lowered his guard, and as a result he was taken by surprise. He was ambushed at the corner of a street in a certain village. Rimuru asked, "Village? Was it the one Bid tried to con, where Bid and I first met?" And Bid agrees, "Right. That was the village Rimuru-sama and I first met." It was reported that a black carriage carrying a swarm of aggressive, rank B monsters appeared out of nowhere. As an originally rank C, Bid and his team couldn't do much, and they were all about to say their prayers, but still tried their best to assist the villagers in taking shelter and buying time. It was then that Gob'emon showed up. Bid said, "It was then that brother Gob'emon saved us," and Miles added, "That's right. Not just me, but everyone who was there owes him a word of thanks." Gob'emon shared his thoughts, "But it's still an undeniable fact that I've failed. There was no way that Gob'emon would have lost to those monsters. He took care of them in an instant. He then attempted to capture the criminal leading them, only to go eye to eye with a basilisk, a B+ threat. Gob'emon's right arm was caught in the spray of the petrifying gas and he hurriedly amputated it himself before it spread any further. The black carriage escaped during that interval. Rimuru asked, "So the failure you were referring to was that you didn't catch the guy behind it?" To which Gob'emon said, "That's part of it, the other being that Miles discovered me." Rimuru assures him, "I don't really care about that. The bodyguarding was your main task. By the way, you should hurry and heal up your arm." Rimuru took out the healing potion from his stomach with the intention of giving it to Gob'emon. He bit his lip, refusing to take it. He said, "No, this injury is the result of my inexperience. I wasn't able to defeat the basilisk on my own. It was with the help of Bit and the rest that it was defeated. It was terrible of me, and while missing an arm presents its difficulties, it will regenerate over time anyway." Gob'emon was very stubborn, or rather he was very prideful, but he was trying to do way too much by himself. Rimuru asked, "Gob'emon, do you think that it was shameful to ask for help from Bit and the others?" And he replies, I guess. My job was to guard Miles, but I exposed him to danger instead." Rimuru tried to clear out this misunderstanding. "Hold on, Gob'emon. You're misunderstanding this." And Gob'emon asked, "Did I get the wrong idea?" Rimuru explained, "Yes. You're trying to do everything alone. That is where you and Gobta are different." The difference between Gob'emon and Gobta was as simple as that one sentence suggested, the ability to work with the people underneath them. Gobta never tried to do all the work himself. Even when against powerful monsters, he would order his subordinates to have everyone fight together. For the easier jobs, he barely even lifted a finger, or maybe he was just deliberately being lazy. Yet considering the growth of his subordinates, Benimaru thought that the way Gobta commanded his men was superior. With Gob'emon, if a strong monster reared its ugly head, he'd leap right in front and try to fight it. Most likely because he was confident in his strength. Although Gob'emon had his reason for doing that, acting alone wouldn't help his men grow. And what if Gob'emon fell? It would leave his troop defenseless. Rimuru would be deeply concerned about their chances of surviving the encounter. It was for this reason that Benimaru favored Gobta's style. And that's why Rimuru wanted Gob'emon to learn how to rely on others. Miles was a man who excelled at leadership. Rimuru hoped wholeheartedly that Gob'emon would see him as a role model. And that's it for my video. Thank you so much. See you on my next upload.